Today we're going to talk about leaving the US for Paraguay. We want to hear from you, like your reasons for leaving the US. Why did you come here? You've been to other countries in Latin America. And hopefully you guys will gain some good insights on David's firsthand experience so that you can also make appropriate decisions for your life. So please, David, tell me, why did you choose Paraguay? Because you've been to Nicaragua before coming here, right? Why did you end up here, and how did you end up here?
Why I ended up here was a lot to do with economic reasons, feeling that it's just difficult to do and be over there without, sometimes it feels like without a lot of money, without maybe a well-known last name. I felt that, recently I'd been out of work and, going through the job search, and during that job search, feeling, not having money coming in and feeling, okay, the bills are still there. The daily expenses are there. Sometimes maybe you incur extra expenses, a flat tire, maybe a ticket, a parking ticket or something like that. And I felt like a sitting duck, feeling like, okay, I'm there and I'm just liable to get taken out by whatever it is. Things have gotten quite expensive, and us as Americans and trying to pursue keeping up with the Joneses, it gets quite expensive. And if you're not really doing that, that's not your cup of tea. You're kind of like this guy out on the outskirts. What's wrong with you? Why don't you want to go do this or that? And just feeling like, what is really there for me that benefits me and serves me. And because it's not the consumerism, and it's not trying to keep up and have the newest car, newest clothes, newest house. That hasn't really been anything that I gravitated towards. And, even if I wanted to, it's just expensive. So, the main reasons, was cost of living. I appreciated that it is a different currency. I appreciated that it is independent from the U.S. influence. And, being here now, it just feels like, the States is over there and, we're over here, and it feels independent of what's going on up there versus, when I was checking out Central America, I felt that, and you could see it, everything trickles down from the States, and anything that the States does affects those countries, and they're very dependent on how things go in the States. So it felt like, the other thing too is an opportunity to be a part of growth. It feels that there's more opportunity here, someone that can set up in a place that has a lower cost of living, has what appears to be freedom to do certain things, and that is what I was looking for, what I wanted. Is at the end of the day, it really boils down to opportunity.
If you can talk to us about what it actually feels like being here. We talked about median ages before when we were having lunch. The median age in Paraguay is slightly under 27 years, whereas in America, it's, I believe, 37 or 38 years now is the median age. And so, in my opinion, right, having lived in Texas, and I still live there part-time, it feels very differently to me living in a younger society because there's more optimism. Now, there's still a lot of optimism in the US too, but from the people that I know who lived in the US, who were adults in the US during the 70s and 80s, or people who immigrated during the 70s and 80s, they are telling me that the golden times are in the past in the US. Whereas here in Paraguay, it feels like the golden times are happening right now. What's your take on this? How do you feel? Is there a difference living here versus the US just in terms of optimism, or would you say it's pretty much the same?
I would say, well, first off, I only have about a week of experience here. So I've been out to bars a couple times, and the immediate thing that popped out to me right off the bat was everybody's quite young. It felt like a younger crowd, hip crowd. I was at El Moco bar on jazz night on Monday and just wanted to check out the scene and hang out. Was hoping to run into somebody and see if I can get involved in the music scene some more here, because that is something I'm passionate about. So it feels, there does feel like a youth, a light. It was nice. It was nice being out with the crowd and just being a part of that movement of just people hanging out, enjoying their time out in the patio, listening to some jazz band play. So, I don't know. I don't know if I can pick that up just in my experience that I've had so far, but, I did hear about that folks were, there's a younger crowd and that they are establishing themselves within their careers, their lives, and they are seeking to have some of those more of maybe the creature comforts, and they want to enjoy they have the income maybe to enjoy some of these goods and services, and these goods and services are available to them here. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, David. Something we're being asked a lot about is Asuncion emerging. And I want to get your firsthand experience. I know you've only been here for a week, but just talk to us about how you see Paraguay, and actually more specifically Asuncion, where you've been living in for the past week. Do you think this is a third world city? Do you think this city has still a lot left to be developed, or would you say that certain parts of Asuncion feel very first world?
I do not feel that it is third world. It almost doesn't even feel like developing country. Parts of it do feel very developed. I've explored a little bit within my own area. Can't think of the name right now where I'm at. Everything's still so new to me. But, have ventured out to the Recoleta area, have ventured out to Shopping del Sol, Gallerias, and it feels very nice. The presentation of things looks good. What is available for goods and services, I don't feel any difference in terms of, in Houston, we have the Galleria, and it's like, I'm at the Gallerias over here, and it was at that level. Then I'm close to supermarket, Super Sace, and I'm coming up this escalator, and the store opens up, and it just right off the bat, I'm just like, wow, this looks nice. I was there the other day and I seen a lady dusting the shelves, and that something as small as that I took note of, because I just felt that, okay, there's a presentation there. They're trying to keep things clean, and something as small as dust on the shelves, cleaning that, I took note of that. And I told a friend, I said, hey, this Super Sace is nice, and it feels like better than some of the best HEBs in Texas, or maybe Publix in Florida. Last couple of years have been in Florida, and so I'm like, this is nice. There's a guy that he weighs your fruits and puts the little sticker on there, and there you go. You can get all the things you need, all the foods, all the products that I'm familiar with seeing in the stores back home. So it didn't feel any different. Exploring some of the Recoleta area over the weekend, I stopped at a bakery and had breakfast there, lunch, and the food was excellent. I walked around, I found the La Cuadrita. That was a nice area. And I see these things, and I see the accessibility, and it feels like it would feel like back home. But I don't need a car to get around. It's a lot smaller, more compact. And I've been able to get around in the Uber quite well. It's very affordable, and I've taken your advice as far as where to stay to get as I'm doing this process and setting up shop here. Being close has helped greatly to do the things we needed to do, and then also for me to be able to explore, take an Uber out to the shopping Mariscal, and then walking back to, I don't know, like 2.5 kilometers back to the house. And where I'm at, if there's some folks, it looks like have some nice houses. The yards look nice. The trees in the streets, they're mature trees. It's nice shade. The roads, I did hear about people talking about the roads, and they can be a little troublesome, but it's cobblestone, and I can see cobblestone for the side areas. The main areas are paved, but on the side streets, and I go a street or two over, and I hear the birds chirping. It like immediately it's quiet, and I'm just a block or two away from a main drag, and it feels like I'm in a park, just on walking in the sidewalk. So I thought that was quite nice. I found a little cafe near the apartment that I'm staying at, and they invited me to have lunch there. So now I have my coffee spot if I need to. If I want lunch, I have my little lunch spot, a locally owned cafe. So made friends with the door guy, and little by little finding more things. I'm looking forward to exploring the old part of town over the weekend coming up. I want to go check out the Mercado Cuatro, explore there, maybe find a couple things that I'm looking for. And there seems, I appreciate music, and I like to collect records. I found a few record shops I want to check out. There's a party that's going on Friday at Tango. A well-known techno DJ is coming into town, and I just found out they're bringing a well-known DJ from Detroit, or some group is bringing a well-known DJ from Detroit to Asuncion in February. So I'm seeing the talent that they're bringing in, and I think they just had Steve Aoki over here, and I think he played out of San Bernardino the other week, and that's a big name. That's a big headliner talent. So it feels like there's more available to me here than there is in Houston in some aspects.
Now, if you can please elaborate a little bit more on why you left the US. We all know that America has a lot of problems these days, right? It's nothing new, but if you can specify individual problems that you believe Paraguay can solve for you, where you don't see too much hope back home in the US, well, even more specifically in Texas.
Right off the bat, back home, looking at the situation, I don't feel that I could afford a house. That doesn't feel like a good financial decision. That time, I believe, has passed. Maybe there's another time in the future, but they can have that. Here, I feel that there is an opportunity for me to secure residence, secure a place to live. I'm considering somewhere maybe more rural. I'm from the city, and I appreciate the city very much, but I also appreciate nature and would love to be closer to nature. So, that's one main reason is feeling that, home ownership, or just having a secure place to live and call my own. It just seems out of reach for me back home. The other things, why, I think for me, one thing, back in 2010, 2011, I lived in Spain for a year, and I remember coming back and just feeling like, what is going on here? Like, what do we do here? Everything I remember thinking, all I felt was, it seems like all we have here are parking lots and big box stores, and that's it. And it feels like all we do is we stay in our box. We're in the house, and then we go into the garage, get in the car, drive to work, sit in our cubicle, do that thing, get back in the car, back to the house. You're turning on the Netflix or whatever you're doing, and that's pretty much it. And you do that Monday through Friday. Maybe on the weekends, you're going and checking out, going to a bar, you're watching a game, hanging out, and that's all fine and all, but I feel like I've already gone through that phase and stage of life, and I want to create, and I want to build a life, build a business. I'm learning what those are and what those mean to me, and I feel that there is opportunity for me to take advantage of that, given that, yes, it is a bit easier for me because of I'm able to earn USD online, and being able to take advantage of that geo arbitrage feels like the right thing to do.
Well, thank you for explaining your experience and reasons for leaving America for Paraguay. If you are interested in moving to Paraguay, obtaining residency, and David just applied for residency here today, in fact, And if you're interested in coming here, working with Nomad Elite, we wanted to invite you to apply with us. You can book a consultation. Our website link should be displayed on the screen now. As always, there's a link in the description of the video. We appreciate your attendance. And David, thank you so much for choosing us in the first place and coming here to my place to shoot this video. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and I'm glad to be working with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for watching, and we see you on the next video.